Our second speaker is going to be Marie Hager, who is a staff software engineer at Pachama, a company that helps other companies that are investing, in high-quality nature-based carbon projects based on satellite data analysis. So Marie will be talking about using Fuse to create cloud-free composites. All right, let's bring Marie up. I'll minimize myself.
Hey, thank you, Tyler. All right. So like Tyler mentioned, I work for Pachama. We're a company that works in the forest-based carbon credit space, improving the integrity through satellite imagery. I think, our mission here is restore nature, remove carbon. The reason why we're in the carbon credit space is because science tells us that there's no way to reach global net zero without investing significantly in nature. Obviously, I feel like anytime I talk about carbon credits, I have to mention that decarbonization is goal number one. But in order to meet climate goals, we also do have to have this kind of backup plan. So what we're thinking about is how do we incentivize landowners to make good choices for the planet without needing to be so wealthy that they can afford to do that as a philanthropic adventure. Awesome. So like I mentioned, we're approaching this space by adding integrity through remote sensing based insights. So on the left here, we have, looking at deforestation over time. And on the right, we have showing not forest loss, but forest gain over time. So here's a reforestation project where from our satellite data, we can see that the forest is growing back as expected. The image on the right is also an image of our internal canopy height maps. So that's kind of the component that uses some of the machine learning. One key input into that canopy height machine learning model is harmonized Landsat Sentinel-2 dataset from NASA. This is a newer-ish data set that takes old data and just processes it in a way that makes it more powerful. So Sentinel-2 is from the European Space Agency. Landsat is from NASA. NASA is processing those images, those scenes, in a way that both can be compatible. So when we take those two sensors together, or when we take those satellite images together, we get a 2 to 3 day temporal resolution because we have the ability to combine all this data. And so that's awesome. That is much more frequent than we get with either sensor alone. For us too, it's important because we focus in tropical forests where cloud cover is especially an issue. And so having that high temporal resolution is especially important to be able to get a nice cloud-free composite. So today I'm going to be talking about 2 UDFs that we wrote, and it's basically to get a monthly cloud-free composite based off of HLS data. HLS data is powerful, but as other folks who work with geospatial data may know, Google Earth Engine tends to be one of the go-tos for processing, petabyte level, giant data sets and, combining that in interesting ways. One major problem of using HLS in Google Earth Engine is that the Sentinel-2 portion of that data doesn't exist. And so although there's a higher quality Landsat processed data set, we can't actually get that 2 to 3 day temporal resolution. But that's where Fused comes in. Fused has the capability to run these powerful algorithms on demand. And then that also gives us the flexibility to tweak them. So what I'm actually showing you is not the cloud-free composite, as you may tell. There are clouds here. This is just from, I think, a couple scenes stitched together into a mosaic for this region. But here, once we actually apply those cloud masks, this is a cloud-free composite for the month of May, I think. yeah, I think this really shows the power of Fused being able to, quickly iterate on that algorithm and handle quite a bit of data. This was written using the Fuse functionality of being able to call other UDFs. So this main UDF on the bottom, the gray one, queries the LPdoc stack catalog for the relevant TIFF files. And then it kicks off the work in parallel to a bunch of other UDFs that TIFF by TIFF load in the data for that relevant window and then mask out those clouds. So it then does that for each available scene. It sends it back to the main UDF. And then from there, we can create a median composite. So yeah, that's been one of the really cool parts of Fused. And I'm probably running a bit low on time. So that's about it. Fused has been fantastic to work with. And yeah, read more about it in the blog.
Well, thank you. I think we're going to go on to the next presenter rather than questions, but thank you for that presentation. And I won't wait for the answer, but I'm very excited that you just got Sentinel 3C launched, which could be contributing also. So something that we can discuss at another time. All right, let's move on then to our next speaker.